What's up, everybody? We're back. You thought we disappeared for good. Welcome back to the Hypertrophy Underground podcast. We disappeared for a while, but we had a couple of things going on.
Quite a bit.
A little bit. And I know that I had put a thread up in the Facebook group. And if you're not a member of the Facebook group, links below, join it. It's a great group of people. We're really trying to grow that. But I'd put a thing in there about ask questions, and we got a ton of them.
Yeah.
We're not going to answer them today, but the next one, we're going to make it kind of a Q&A podcast. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the reason that we've been absent for so long. And we had a little thing going on last weekend. As many as you know, I've been prepping for my return to bodybuilding competition, about a 7-month prep, I think.
6 to 7. I think we started, what, April?
I started April the 3rd is when I started. And anyway, we're a week out from the show. It was last Saturday, and things turned out pretty well. Yeah. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And turns out I won the Masters 50 Plus. And this was an NPC National Qualifying Show in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I just want to say this from the outset. I got second in the open light heavyweight. And that second place is probably one of my more prouder placings. Yeah. Just because it's all ages. And it was a big class. It was a pretty stacked class. And to be able to walk out of there with the second place competing against guys in their 20s and 30s was humbling, and I was very proud of that. So I'm not proud of a lot of things, but I was proud of that one, and it turned out pretty well. But all in all, it was great, and because of the outcome, I'm already back in prep. Yep. Not prep, but pre-prep. Right. We got nationals coming up in Pittsburgh, the Collegiate Teen Masters Nationals in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That'll be in right around I think it's like the 13th of July, something like that. We'll get the exact date when the calendar comes up in January, but already started that. I had my Saturday night and Sunday blowout of eating, but you have to be disciplined after a show. You can't just eat like dog shit and eat like an asshole for weeks at a time like many people do. Yeah. So I'm taking advantage of what we call the post-show rebound. Yep. And so the goal for me is to get right back to clean eating, just a greater volume of food, get back to really hard training. And from a physiological level, when you reach such a level of low body fat through a contest prep, the body will respond because your insulin sensitivity is so great coming off of that hard cut. When you get down to about 4% body fat or whatever,
I'd say you're probably around that.
Yeah, and a couple of guys backstage said I was easily 3-4%, whatever. Yeah, nobody really knows, but I was the leanest I've ever been. Yeah, thanks to having a great team around me, and so now the goal is to retain the discipline that bodybuilders must have and not make the tactical error that many make of eating like an asshole for months at a time and then scrambling to try to get their physique back as they go into, the hard prep about 16 weeks out or whatever. So I don't want to have to be playing catch up. So the food volume is greater, but we're back to clean, single ingredient whole foods. I'm eating 5-6 times a day. Back to training pretty hard in the gym, fairly hard this week. Next week we'll go really hard because I'll be well fed and reloaded. Yeah. So that's the goal. And I also want to say before we get into whatever Tyler wants to talk about, reminder, Tyler is an IFBB pro bodybuilder. This guy knows his shit, and I'll begin my list of heartfelt thanks. This guy right here was my second set of eyes. He was my accountability, and his wife, Heather, who is an extremely talented woman, knows diet, has helped Tyler with prep, has helped many with prep. Yeah. And to be able to surround yourself with people that really know their shit is, it's worth its weight in gold. And even though I've been in the industry and coaching people for decades, your brain goes to complete mush a few months out. You second guess everything. You question everything. Your mind plays tricks on you. So to be able to have such talented people in my corner, working through the process with me, holding me accountable when I was questioning everything, and you get to that place mentally where, I look like shit. I'm not going to be ready. I know what I'm doing, but what about this? They would always pull back the reins a little bit and keep me focused, keep me accountable to the plan. And all in all, I think it worked like a charm.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So thanks to these two guys, thanks to my incredible support network, the love of my life, my wife, Nancy, who is, I have dubbed her the greatest prep wife of all time. She gives me massive support. And when we go into peak week, when we go to the Airbnb, when we arrived in Charlotte, that woman immediately takes over. She handles everything. She directs all the freaking traffic. Yeah. She makes sure that I have everything I need. I'm everywhere I need to be. She encourages me. She keeps me on point. And there's no way I could have done this without her. My children were there. My son Tyler is now looking to compete next year. So having him there, also super excited about the process. Being a part of it was big for me. My other son was there. My daughter, who's always amazing. And I have to give a shout out to my workout partner, Jason. He's been with me through thick and thin since 2014 and has never left my side. Every time I go to Jason and say, hey, man, we're going to wind this thing up and we're going to do it again, he's just like, okay, let's do it. I got you.
It's good to have friends like that, man.
He says, I got you, and he never lets me miss a workout. He always shows up. He pushes me. He holds me accountable. He tells me what he truly thinks. And so, I've just got this amazing support network around me, and I wanted to, make sure that I give credit where credit's due and thank all of these incredible people, because I couldn't have done it without any of you guys. But anyway, it turned out great. Where you want to begin? What do you want to talk about? That
was step number one, then you know what the next step is. So, just Masters Nationals next year.
Yeah.
That's the next step, man. But yeah, man, I'm extremely glad to experience that with you, because we know my health in the past, a little bit of a close call. Didn't know if I would be able to experience anything like this ever again, so I'm extremely grateful for that. And I'm glad I was able to meet the rest of your family, and that's awesome, man. Yeah,
and they love you. They think you're amazing, and I couldn't have done it without you. But so next steps. I mean, people want to know what'd you do. They want to know nuts and bolts. They don't want broad strokes. So one of the big controversial topics with me is, in the past, I kind of achieved some notoriety on the internet by being a guy that was developed more of a hybrid carnivore diet, where I ate primarily meat, eggs, fish, and so on, but I would always incorporate sometimes intra and post-workout carbs, and I would always incorporate a refeed day. And knowing what I know and doing the exhaustive research that I did over the last couple of years, I know that was the minimum effective dose, and I've completely abandoned that protocol. And carb cycling was a complete game changer for me. It worked better than anything I've ever tried, and there's probably a reason why 99.9% of bodybuilders out there do some version of that.
Yeah.
Apart from 2 weeks out, Heather had recommended I do a couple of near zero carb days because she wanted me fully depleted so I could properly reload muscle glycogen coming into peak week.
Yeah.
But apart from that, there was never a week where I was zero carb. I incorporated moderate carbohydrate days on training days. I would lower that significantly, but not anywhere close to zero on non-training days. And then one day a week, I would do a high day. And the high day principle has been very popularized by Olympia level coaches like Justin Harris and Chris Tuttle and AJ Sims and some of these guys. And that worked great. And people get really confused by how you can take a day, and I always do it on leg day. You want to do it on your hardest day. So on that day, I would take the carbs. There were Thursdays, which is my leg day, where I would take it up into the 500, 550 realm.
Yeah.
And the next morning, you're going to be a little heavier on the scale, but that's just because you're bringing in intracellular fluid, because for every gram of carbohydrate you take in that converts to glycogen, your body needs about 2.3 grams of water to carry that carbohydrate and glycogen. So you'll go up a little bit on the scale, but that's nothing to worry about, because the crazy thing, and I think we talked about this before, bodybuilding is the Wild West. We are different creatures than Gen Pop. And I would always, about 36 to 48 hours after that high day, drop a pound.
Yep.
And it just kept moving. And that's largely due to the fact that when you're in a caloric deficit, your metabolic rate follows the deficit.
Yeah.
So if you're very low carb for too long, while in a caloric deficit, the body senses that it's under duress. It goes into kind of a fight or flight mode, and the opposite of what you would want will happen, meaning you'll actually hold on to body fat because the body thinks it's starving to death and has a lack of energy, and you'd be more prone to burning lean tissue. Yep. So by getting that big influx of carbohydrate on that high day and even on those moderate days, it kind of sends this signal to the body that we're good, we've got plenty of usable energy, we're not starving to death, and it just keeps things moving along nicely. And you can use carbs sort of as a lever to keep adjusting and dialing everything in, and it worked like a charm. So, and a lot of my clients have switched over to carb cycling, and every single one is getting dramatic results.
Imagine that. It's wild how that works.
Imagine that.
Yeah, those high days, it's like throwing fuel on a fire, man. It's just, they're needed. I mean, you know, and obviously it worked really well for you. And
what I thought was crazy about you said that you never went below, what, 350?
No, I never had to do that, really. Yeah, it was pretty much just a straight, just every day. It wasn't carb cycling. It was just kind of. It was
just, you found the point that worked for you.
Yeah.
And that's really how the guys back in the 90s and early 2000s did it.
Right.
Always. I mean, they found the point that they could bring in without it spilling over.
Yeah.
And that carbohydrate gives you that massive usable energy for high intensity muscular contractions through the training. Yeah. It gives you that fullness and vascularity that we're looking for. So even, you know, assessing your physique, even post workout, you have the look because of the glycogen that's in the muscles, and you never really get to a point where you're freaking dying.
No. I don't think you started feeling the diet really until, what, 3 or 4 weeks out?
Really, about 3 weeks out.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Whenever I switched over to nothing but white fish and egg whites, but I was still bringing in some cream of rice, some white rice.
So still getting carbs.
Still getting carbs.
Yeah.
That got me through it, because even though the calories were low and the protein sources were kind of repetitive and bland, you still look forward to that next meal because you get that little bit of carbs in there. I mean, I really looked forward to my morning oats and my cream of rice, which I'm the cream of rice king. And, you know, it made it very sustainable for me. And I never felt like I was having a near-death experience, you know.
And that's what we want, man. Yeah, we don't want you to feel like complete and utter shit, you know. But now, granted, there's times during prep where that does happen.
Sure.
You know, you feel like you're walking on your bones. You start getting low on body fat. It's just part of the sport.
Yeah, about 3 weeks out, my wife noticed that, you know, I was kind of the walking dead. So she was like, okay, we're going to take a little break from the house projects. You rest, you chill. And I would just kind of piddle around a little bit, try to still get my steps in. But she sensed that, okay, you need to rest and digest. You need to chill, conserve energy. So God bless her for that. But I do want to, I think that the most intriguing thing about this, and this is the story that I've told to all of my clients, and they're just blown away by it, is in the past, I would deplete during peak week. Like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I would be extremely low carb. And then I would fill up on, you know, half the day Thursday and through Friday. And this time around, I front loaded the carbs.
Right. I think what we started Monday. Okay. Yeah.
So Monday, after a depletion week, Monday we brought in 80 grams of carbs. And I was hovering around. We were trying to make the cutoff of 198 and three quarters to get into light heavy.
198.3 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and I was the entire time. I was like, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to make it because I was always 200 pounds, 201 pounds, 200 pounds, 201 pounds, 199, 199, 199.
And that was in the morning too. At one point,
in the morning. Yeah. And then I would be 3 pounds heavier at night.
Also, people that don't know, in the NPC, you actually weigh in in the evening, not the morning. So you have to basically make weight that evening after eating all day, having a little bit of hydration. So makes it a little bit trickier.
Which that's an excellent point because that brings us back to me being kind of terrified that, well, if I'm weighing at 5 p.m., I'm always up 3 pounds.
And then I think one day we were 206.
Yeah, we were 206 one day.
206, yeah.
So this is the crazy thing. This is super interesting. So I'm at like 199 point something on Sunday, and I'm thinking I'm never going to make it because then I was like 202 and a half that night. And then Monday, we brought in 80 grams of carbs. I woke up the next morning a pound down. So then we went to 120 grams of carbs. I woke up the next morning a pound down.
So basically adding 30 to 50 grams of carbs daily. Yep.
Right. And then Wednesday, we took it to 180. I lost a pound.
Yeah.
And then we went Thursday, we were in like the 220 because I had dropped again.
I do remember, yeah.
Because I dropped down to like 193.
Yeah, it was
something like that. And then we raised the carbs again, and I lost another pound. And then we got to Charlotte, and it was the day of the weigh-in, and I weighed at the Airbnb. I was 196 point something, and then we went to the weigh-in, and my official weigh-in was 196.4.
Yeah.
Almost 2 pounds leeway, so I was thrilled by that. So we made the weight. As I raised the carbs, my body fat came down, my weight came down. And then, so I go to the weigh-in, I think I weighed in at like 5:30. Yeah. I'm 196.4. I go back to the Airbnb. I took in a big carb meal, about 65 grams of cream of rice with peanut butter, and I had some egg whites. And then before I went to bed, I had Heather's like, eat a couple of rice cakes. So I ate them with some peanut butter. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I think I hit like 80 grams of carbs that Friday night. I wake up Saturday morning, the day of the show, and I'm 191 pounds.
You flew through fuel in the fire there again.
Man, to go from 196 with, probably pushing 300 grams of carbs.
Yeah.
Wake up the day of the show. Now I'm 191.
Yeah.
Freaking shredded and peeled to the damn bone.
It definitely tightened you up. A lot.
And so I reported back to you and Heather that I was 191, and she's
I remember reading it, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh damn.
So it was like, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Because you don't want to be flat. Yeah. So I sent her that check-in, sent you guys that check-in, and then she's like, okay, egg whites, and I want you to have 65 grams of carbs with 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, and then a couple of rice cakes with jam every hour up into the prejudging.
Yep.
So I did that.
Prejudging was what, 10 a.m. roughly? And you went
10 a.m.
You went on about 10:30.
About 10:30. So I have the big whack of carbs in the morning. I start to fill out a little more. I have the rice cakes and the jam, and then when I'm backstage, probably about 9:30, 9:40, I had 2 Rice Krispie treats. Yeah. That's my thing to blow up. And, did great. The prejudging went well. And I of course, the competitor was like, oh, God, I don't know.
Yeah.
And Tyler's like, oh, you got the Masters.
Yeah.
That's no problem. And we were thinking I was third after the prejudging in the Open.
Yeah.
Because the guy that we felt was the winner was in the middle, and they had me placed to the right of him.
Yeah.
And then they had another guy placed to the left that we felt was like probably second. Yeah. But what it was is they never moved me.
Yeah.
in any of the prejudging. I stayed in that same spot the entire time.
If you ask Tyler, because I sat right next to him right before the night.
My
show.
son Tyler.
Yes, Tyler Goodwin. Yeah, I remember telling him, I was like, man. He's like, what do you think? I said, man, maybe second. I said, we'll see. And I remember telling him that, and I'll be damned. I was like, wow.
Well,
called that one.
You're a prophet.
Yeah, called that one. Called it.
So they never moved me. So that's, they probably didn't put me over to the left of them because I was already there.
Well, plus I think they had the heavyweight guy on stage, and I think it might have threw a little bit of
threw it
people
off a little bit.
Yeah. So, which I'm glad you didn't do heavyweight and get a class win because of only one person.
That's a good point.
So respect to everybody that competes, but anyway. Yeah.
Well, and what Tyler's talking about, and the reason why the second in the light heavy was such a proud moment for me, because there was there
was at least seven.
It was more than that because they broke it up into two groups.
8 or 9 maybe, yeah.
And they had to break it up into two groups for the comparisons because it was a large class.
Yeah.
They brought in the one heavyweight to just compare him with the light heavies just to save time. Not to bring the poor guy up all by himself because
he's won the class. So.
He's going to win by default.
Right.
So for me, I'm so much more proud of the second in the light heavy because if I would have done heavyweight, and this is not bragging, it's just fact, I think I would have easily won the heavyweight.
You think you would have?
I definitely.
That would have, no disrespect to people that compete. I mean, that wouldn't.
I would much rather get that second in the light heavyweight in a very competitive class than to beat a guy who probably looked about 4 weeks out or 6 weeks out.
Yeah, maybe a little more. Yeah,
it would have been okay. Yeah, sure. It's always nice to have a first place medal, but I'm glad I did what I did because obviously the look was better anyway because I was far more peeled.
For sure.
So that's how that went down. So. Yep. All in all, successful weekend.
Definitely.
And I will say this: we purchased the stage photos from the photographer.
Yeah.
And I'll send those to you.
Okay.
And we're looking through those with a fine tooth. The guy that beat me in the light heavy, I think I was way better from the waist up.
Yeah, I agree.
Way better. Yeah. I was far more conditioned. Yep. He had big legs.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. I now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think as people get older, they lose a little bit of muscle mass in their lower body. Mm-hmm. But
and for me, it was the 4 years off.
Right, and that too, that plays a huge role.
Back in 2021, one of my strengths was my leg size.
Right. Well, I mean, you did rucking. You were rucking like 50 miles a day.
Yeah,
or
I was
something like that.
Rucking and doing other stuff, just trying to stay really fit, really conditioned, because I thought I was done.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be really fit, really healthy, do other challenging things.
Yeah.
So clearly now the focus.
Yeah.
In this. I hate the word off season. I don't believe in the word off season, but in this, we'll call it a recomp gain phase that I have about 4 or 5 months of.
Yeah. Plenty of time.
The focus is to bring up the legs. Yeah. So what I've done in my split now, instead of having one brutal leg day, I've now broken up the legs. So I have a quad dominant day, and then I have a hamstring glute adductor dominant day. And I think that's going to help. And clearly the motivation is there to push leg days harder than ever.
Definitely.
Having a full gain phase season because it was a little rushed this year.
Oh, a little.
I was playing catch up.
It was
4 years off, 7 months, do the best you can and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Now I've got the luxury of time where I can say, okay, for the next 4 months, I'm going to be well fed, slight caloric surplus, work harder than I've ever worked in the gym, bring the legs up a little bit, and hopefully that will be the difference maker into nationals. And I will say this, Kevin, the promoter, he came up to me backstage 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And because we're kind of friendly, we talk back and forth online, and he came up to me and said, "My God, you look amazing. You are freaking peeled." And he said, he competes himself. Yeah. And he said, "Thank God I wouldn't have to stand next to you today."
Yeah.
And
he would have been in the same class as you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, and I won't forget it because it meant a lot to me. He said, "If you bring this conditioning with a little more leg size to nationals, I think you're walking away with a pro card." That's what he said to me.
I mean, I could see it. But, you know, just focus on the goal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for me,
sure.
I mean,
it's good to hear that stuff. But, you know.
But for me, you know, top 3 would be great. But for somebody who's heavily steeped in the industry like he is,
right,
and he's never bullshitted me.
No.
For him to say that was great. And one last thing was another fun moment that made me feel really great is when the light heavies, when we got our awards. Well, I went backstage. Now the pressure's off. We're done.
Yeah.
The entire class, minus 2 guys, came up to me and said, "How old are you?"
Yeah.
And I said, "I'll be 57 next month."
Yeah.
And the guy that won, we probably talked for 10 minutes. He's like, "You have got to be kidding me."
Now, how was the kid that won?
He was in 30s.
Oh, he's my age.
Yeah.
Oh,
and all of them were like, "You have got to be freaking kidding me."
Yeah. Age is just a number.
Just a number.
Yeah,
so
man,
I'm very proud of that. So,
yeah.
But anyway, that's what happened. So now my biggest, admittedly, weakness that I am going to fucking drill and starting now is posing. That's my weakness.
Yeah.
And it's always been a weakness, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I hate it. My least favorite part of bodybuilding is standing on stage.
Yeah.
I like all the things you do leading up to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're going to see a completely different human being in regards to posing this next time around.
Yeah.
So
I think that's probably just the biggest.
Yeah.
You know, that was the biggest thing that I took from it was you know, just better posing. And in presentation, you know, it can make or break athletes when they get on stage. I mean, you know, I've seen guys miss out on pro cards because their posing wasn't good. I mean, you know, and I don't want us to be that guy.
Yeah, you can, how you present your physique is a game changer. You can take a lagging body part.
Yeah.
And if you know how to pose it right, you can make it look twice as big.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And
that's right.
So, like, my side shots look a little narrow. Anyway, posing is going to be of paramount importance for me. I'm going to be obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And so nailing that, putting on a little bit more leg girth, I think will be the adjustments that I need to make coming into nationals.
I think those are the 2 main focuses. I think that needs to be the 2 main.
So if you're watching this and you're looking to do like a regional show or do your first show or whatever, take it from this guy, posing. I don't care if you're 7 months out, 8 months out, 4 months out, whatever you are, start posing now. Pose every day.
Yeah.
Hire somebody if you have to, and make that just as important as the training, the diet, and everything else.
I always tell people, you know, everybody wants to pose contest prep, you know, which it's good to do that closer to a show, obviously. But posing in the off season, that's important too. I mean, you know, we need to make sure we master that
for sure
the whole entire year. You know,
and I'm already doing it. I mean, today I did shoulders and triceps, a little bit of core. What's the first thing I did when I finished? I hit the mirror. I worked through all my mandatories. Yeah. And so that's going to be a big deal.
And that's the thing, like, guys, people watching this. I mean, you know, don't just pose to post pictures on Instagram. Don't just do it to do that. Like, I mean, do it with intent to like you're getting on stage and you're wanting to present the best package that you can with your posing. I mean, you know, I'm not knocking people that just post selfies on Instagram and stuff like that, but pose with a meaning. That way, when you get on stage, that you know you're polished in that area. You know, because one of the worst feelings in the world. I've never been this way, but I know people that I've competed against. Man, their posing was terrible. You know, they did everything else right. They suffered. They followed the diet, got their sleep, took their supplements. But man, I mean, you know, it's like checking off 99 boxes and missing one.
Yep.
You know,
and then that box is big.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, you know, like I said, you know, a minute ago, you can lose a show because your presentation's not there.
And
you know?
And you hear it. I mean, nobody. I'll go ahead and say this, man. I'll die on this hill. Yeah. Nobody researches more than me.
Yeah.
I'm constantly, every day, I burn through 2 or 3 podcasts with top coaches, top competitors, pros, amateurs. I'm digging through research. I drive my wife crazy because I am such a lunatic when it comes to research. And I've heard it 500 times from these others that I admire, and they would say, man, you got to start posing now. You got to work on your posing. Posing will make or break you. And I hear it, but I'm obsessed with, okay, what's the diet like? What are these manipulations? What's the physiology? How does the body react? Yeah. What's this scenario? Let's weigh these two things out. How did you do this? And I didn't pay attention to the shouting from all of these people at that time, and I waited too late, and I was fortunate that I had a good enough physique. Yeah, thank God.
I was just about to say that
to outweigh my lack of posing skill, and that's never going to happen again. Yeah. So you'll see a completely different presentation from me the next time, especially going on a national stage, because if you think about it, I mean, when we step on stage in July at Masters Nationals, I'm trying to be, on that day, the best 50-year-old, amateur bodybuilder in the country.
In the country, yeah.
On that day.
I'm sure there are people from out of the country that
some from out of the country.
Yeah.
And to blow it because you didn't drill posing is a travesty.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a crime.
We don't want to be that guy.
We're not going to be that guy.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What else, man? What are your other insights?
Hey, man, you pretty much covered everything. Just working on posing, putting a little bit more tissue on the lower body. There's a game plan already set. We'll talk about it eventually. So, but I think the future is definitely bright.
Good
for
deal.
Sure. Not just saying that because we're friends. I truly mean that. I was, like I said, I was really, really happy with last weekend. I've noticed, since I've not competed, it's been since 2023, May of 23, I get more satisfaction seeing my friends and clients compete and being successful than I did what I ever did with my own self. I mean, hell, all I was nervous, and right. I don't want to say I don't enjoy it as much, but you kind of focus on winning. And you don't really try to, appreciate the moment to an extent.
Right.
If that makes sense. So it was really good to witness that, man. I'm glad we got to do it. Yeah.
It was a great experience, and I appreciate it. And I'm the same way. Clearly, I make a living from coaching. Yeah. And I had a competitor in the show that I did. Yeah. And I was just as nervous and concerned about her as I was myself. It was her very first show. She got 5th. Yeah. But the reason she got 5th is she is a tiny human. And she was 88 pounds on stage.
What?
88 pounds.
She got to be bikini.
Bikini,
yeah.
But I'm telling you, this girl, genetically, the first time that she sent me a check-in photo, I'm like, she could go very far in this sport. Yeah. She's got great proportions, beautiful X-frame. Yeah. Just a lovely young girl. Yeah. Work ethic that's off the chart. Yeah. Never questions the plan. Did everything she's supposed to do. And, to her credit, she walked off stage with a 5th in her first show and was thrilled. Yeah. She loved the experience. And
that's what matters, man.
I mean, I remember getting back home from Charlotte, and the first thing in my head was, okay, what do we have to do now with Lindsay? Yeah. And I thought about that before I thought about myself. Yeah. Yeah. Because I love working with people, and whether they're a competitor or just general population, just trying to be the best person they can be, nothing brings a greater satisfaction than seeing somebody be part of that, 3% of the population that takes themselves to a level that most people could never understand.
Yeah, it's a good thing to witness, man.
It's a good thing to witness. And you work with competitors.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I work with competitors, so if you need a coach, we love this shit. DM us. But yeah, man, it was a good weekend. So that's the plan. That's the recap. Yeah. And what else? What else you want to talk about?
That was mainly what we wanted to talk about, I think, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. But yeah, that's the plan. And then we'll we'll talk about even more in depth eventually. So
and when you go through a prep, after 4 years off, and I'm back doing this, I wasn't as transparent online, and we live in a social media world. Whether we like it or not. Once you go through that again, and then you sit there quietly in your own head after it's over, the thing that made me really emotional, and then I said this to my wife, I said, I'm a bodybuilder again. I'm back. And I realized I can't move away from this lifestyle. It defines me. And I'm absorbed in it. It's my life. I absolutely love it. And it's what I will do for the rest of my life. Obviously not competing for the rest of my life, but being in the industry, helping others. Training. As hard as you can. I'll train till I fall. I'll probably die in the gym. But that's what we do. And it's the most rewarding thing that you can do. So what's great about being a competitor at a high level is the experience and the knowledge and the education you get to be able to transfer that over to someone else is so invaluable. A lot of people will hire a trainer, hire a coach, and most of them have never been through the grind and the paces and the experience that we have. And you develop instincts. And that's why AI will never take over bodybuilding coaching. AI can give you a generic plan. It can answer some questions, but it can't look at a human being, because everyone is completely different, and make the adjustments. You and I can look at someone and say, and Heather can look at someone and say, okay, now we need to do this. Now we need to do this. And those little micro adjustments that we make, leading them to that end point, is critical.
That's exactly right, man. So, that's I'm not big on the AI stuff, but whatever. It is what it is.
The only thing I used AI for was tracking my food.
Well, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing to utilize, to do that.
Because at the end of the day, what AI is, it's a super fast method of scouring the internet and coming up with the best conclusion based on millions of responses.
That's true.
So some of the I've asked certain questions. My workout partner does this all the time, and we laugh about it. Ask certain questions. Some of the answers you get back are ridiculous. We're like, no. Do not do that.
That sounds ridiculous.
It's not going to work, because you have so many bros out there who think they know what the hell they're doing, and they don't. And they put this information out there, and AI collates all of it and comes up with what it believes to be the most rational, logical response based on input. That doesn't mean it's right. And AI can't judge a physique properly, because every human being is different. If we have 10 clients, and let's say all 10 clients were the same gender, same height, same weight,
they're still going to be different.
Everyone's going to be different.
They're still going to be different.
Everyone's going to be different. So having the instincts by going through what we've went through for the better part of our lives gives us that knowledge and experience and the instincts to say, okay, we need to do this. And generally it always works out if they listen, if they apply it.
So AI basically sounds like science-based lifting. That's what it sounds like.
And if you're paying attention to these muffin-haired, science-based geeks out there with freaking cuffs on their elbows and doing all this silly shit, there's probably a reason why all of them look like dog shit. But then you go to the guy that's, jacked and 230 pounds and looks amazing, and his thing is that he is freaking grinding and suffering and sacrificing and putting in the work and has the discipline.
And what's wild is those guys that do science-based lifting, they'll tell him, like, hey, man, you're doing this wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
That's unbelievable. That's truly unbelievable.
I saw one.
I see it every day.
I saw one just the other day where a guy was talking over a video of four-time Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler. Literally saying, now, if Jay Cutler would have done it this way, he would have been even better. And the guy probably weighed $165 and looked like shit.
Say it ain't so. My goodness.
Yeah, so, Jay would have been better. What's better than being the greatest bodybuilder on the planet? 4 times. And if Jay hadn't have been competing against Ronnie,
he'd have probably won.
He'd probably had 8 or 10 of the damn thing.
Yeah.
So it's just ludicrous what the internet has, it's a minutia of shit that we have to wade through every single day.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's better just to turn that shit off, work with somebody who has been in the trenches, who's lived that life, who understands the variables and understands how to take those variables and make adjustments to continue to move forward to produce a better physique.
Yeah, it's like they demonize hard training and just showing up to the gym with 100% effort. I think that's just the world we live in now.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is another topic, but I'm going to touch on this just very briefly. It's kind of like the doctors pushing these, what are these?
The GLP-1s?
Yeah, and then not telling them how to eat and not telling them not to train. I'm not even getting into that. We'll talk about that another time if you want to.
That's an hour right there.
It's probably due. Because it really pisses me off. Pretty good for the most part. It's... Anyway, moving on.
That's an incredibly perfect point because I'm very, very close friends with my physician.
Yeah.
And actually, he's a nurse practitioner. Yeah. And I would put him over any actual doctor any day of the week. This guy is brilliant. He's helped me, and we actually have this little game that we play every once in a while. Well, he will send me lab work.
Yeah.
He'll cut their names off, no personal information. He'll just give me the numbers. Their triglycerides are like 500. Cholesterol's off the chart. Systemic inflammation is ridiculous. Blood pressure is like walking heart attack.
That's not good.
And he'll tell me, check this out. And then he'll say, now I recommended to this guy to change his diet, get into the gym, get out and do some cardio. And he said, no thanks. What pill do I need? And can you give me some of that Ozempic? And that happens constantly. And that's why everybody looks like shit. One of the phrases that I'm known for is I tell everybody, be the freak in the room.
Yeah.
And being the freak in the room doesn't just mean physically. It means mentally.
Yeah.
That everything you do is...
Sharp mind, sharp everything. Yeah.
Everything, every decision you make, everything you do puts you into that 1%.
Yeah.
And most people are not willing to get there. It's like... I'll say, walk into Walmart, walk into Target, walk into your local mall. Count the freaking jacked, fit people you see. Sometimes it's zero. Most of the time it's zero.
Yeah, it's without a doubt. Yeah, you're exactly right.
And, I'm proud when I walk into an establishment or a public place with my wife and my daughter. Yeah. And I'm the most jacked guy in the room, and I'm 56 years old.
Well, and also, Rob, I mean, people don't have self-respect anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you're always constantly eating processed foods and staying up till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, going out and getting drunk on the weekends, and that's a loser mentality.
Yeah.
That's a loser mentality, and hopefully, if you feel like that applies to you, maybe it's time to make some changes in your life. That way. I don't know, man. Yeah. I see that a lot, especially with people my age. Also, they go out on the weekends. They'll get, absolutely plastered, and but they want to make progress in the gym. I got news for you. You're basically shooting yourself in the foot. It's not going to happen. Yeah,
and I think we spoke about this in our last episode when we talked about what you went through. Yeah. Maybe it was the first one.
Yeah, I think it was work. Yeah.
Yeah, people are training. There's a segment of the population that are training. My son Tyler works in a gym.
Yeah.
And he sees this every day with the members.
Oh yeah, he shared some things.
Yeah. So we got guys that are lifting weights, probably not intense enough, not structured enough.
Yeah.
They maybe do some cardio or whatever, and then they'll go out and eat burgers and pizza. They'll get hammered on the weekends. They'll drink with their buddies, and wonder why they look like a freaking bag of shit. And even my son, because he's lived with me his whole life, he knows, and he'll say to them, listen, you got to continue to train hard, but it's the biggest lever you can pull is diet.
Yeah.
It's the biggest lever.
Yeah.
Justin Harris, who the coach that I really admire, he says this all the time. He's like, listen, if you go back to the 80s, the 70s, 80s, the great 90s era of bodybuilding, even to the early 2000s, the Phil Heath years, all those guys trained roughly the same.
Yeah.
They all roughly took the same shit.
Yeah.
But the biggest lever that they could pull was diet.
Yeah.
And I've said this before. I was fortunate enough to manage a big Gold's Gym down in Florida.
Yeah.
We had top-level IFBB pros in there, magazine cover guys. And when those guys, when we would go to the cafe and we would sit around and shoot the shit, nobody talked about drugs.
Yeah.
Because they were all doing the same shit anyway. There's no,
Right.
it was common shit.
Yeah, there's no secret drug out there.
There's
that's
no secrets. They all trained their ass off, so they didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
What did they all sit and just meticulously pick through with each other? How's your diet? What do you do about this? How do you time that? How many grams of carbs do you take? What's your protein intake like? What's your meal frequency?
Yeah.
How do you approach a prep? That's what they talked about.
Yeah.
Diet is the biggest lever. And if you don't have the discipline and the fortitude to stay disciplined on your diet, you're never going to get the outcome that you desire.
Yeah, and also a lot of times what's wild is, talking about diet. Obviously, that's the most important part. And people, obviously, they think that the steroids are the main. Mm-hmm. That's what really gives you the physique. I got news for you. Those drugs don't work if you eat like bullshit. If you eat bullshit, they're not going to work. I mean, that's just how it is, and you're going to get more side effects in the negative than you are in the positive.
Taking more,
ends
up bringing diminishing returns than taking less.
Exactly.
You listen to these coaches, and there's a handful of coaches out there now that we live in an era where you can talk about it now.
Yeah.
And they're pretty transparent.
Yeah.
And they will tell you, listen, I had to bring my guy down.
Yeah.
And we got better results. And I can tell you right now, you can go to your local hardcore gym, and some of these guys and most of these guys in those gyms are taking twice as much as what some top-level pros and top-level amateurs are taking, and they look like complete dog shit.
Yep.
It's not about the gear. It's not about the drugs. Yes, it helps. Yes, it's part of the industry.
It's a tool.
It's a tool. And it's more common than you think. Your favorite Marvel actor is sauce to the gills. Your favorite NFL linebacker is sauce to the gills. But it's about what they do outside of that with their training, with their diets. It's called performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
But you have to have some performance to enhance.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
If you're not training and eating right, it's not going to do shit.
People don't think about what you just said. You have to have performance to enhance.
It's not going to work.
I mean, hell, a lot of times you can look at somebody and be like, what kind of performance are you trying to enhance?
Right.
That's the main question you want to ask a lot of people. Not that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just...
There's a local trainer here in town. I don't mention names.
Yeah.
You know who he is, and I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah.
But this guy has done more shit, more gear than anybody I think I know. And he looks like complete crap because he doesn't train hard. He eats shit. He parties on the weekends.
Jeez.
And you would never know that the guy has ever used anything because he looks like total dog shit.
Jeez.
So again, guys, the biggest lever you can pull is diet, and it has to be structured. It has to be consistent. I was talking to one of my online clients yesterday, and my clients are great, but this guy, admittedly, he misses his check-ins. He doesn't track his food. He says, well, I kind of know what I eat, so I don't really need to track because, it's pretty much the same thing every day.
But you kind of know. You don't fully know.
You kind of know.
Right. Okay.
And then I messaged him initially because I'm like, you haven't been tracking your weights and reps on your sets.
Yeah.
So we're not seeing a systematic improvement. We're not seeing PRs. We're not. Yeah. I have nothing to judge to move you forward.
I mean, you're in the dark.
He's like, well, I'm training hard, man. Don't worry. I'm training really hard, and my diet's pretty good, and it's pretty much the same thing every day, and I really don't need to track. And then the next couple of paragraphs that he wrote back to me was, but I still really want to get under 12% before Christmas, but nothing's really coming off. I'm not really sure what's going on. And I said, I want you to read that comment again.
Yeah.
And then go back to how we started this conversation.
Yeah.
I said, if you don't start tracking your food, if you don't start logging your weights and reps, if you don't start checking in with me, you're going to be very disappointed in the process. Yeah. And then ultimately, people like that will blame me.
Oh, that's, yeah.
You know, they think just because they give me a credit card number that they're miraculously going to change.
Right.
But you have to put in the work. And,
exactly right.
You know, I'm proud of the fact that from April the 3rd, 2025, until the day before the show, I logged everything I put in my mouth for all of those months. I never missed.
Well, and look how good you did.
Imagine that.
That should be a good indicator for people that don't track their food, don't track water. They don't, they might drink 1 bottle of water a day. I mean, and then they wonder why they feel like shit in that aspect.
Right.
You know, they wonder why they're cramping. It's, if you don't track your stuff, whether, like you said, in the gym, your nutrition, hydration, everything, it doesn't matter.
Right. And this to credit to Heather, your wife, and I know this, but this is another reason why having that accountability coach with you, no matter what knowledge you have, is critical. She kept saying the simplest thing, keep water and salt consistent.
Yeah.
Okay. So I determined for me what level of sodium made me look good, feel good, but not make me look puffy.
Right.
For me, it was about 7-8 grams a day.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would measure out 8 grams of sodium. I'd put it in a jar, meticulously measured, and I would put a portion on every food until that was gone.
Yeah.
And then I was done. And I stayed super consistent all the way through, and I did not look watery. I looked nice and dry. I never pulled water at the end like people do back in the old days. I never pulled sodium. In fact, we went up a little bit on sodium.
Yep.
And the result was shredded and peeled. And, the other thing I wanted to mention way back, and then we'll stop making you guys suffer through this, is I firmly believe, and I think Heather agrees, and I think you do too, I could have done more food.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, that's definitely. I agree. Every time
I took in carbs, I responded better and better and better. I never spilled.
Yep.
I think I could have been fuller. Harder.
When I noticed at the evening show, you looked even better in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my legs were actually popping more in the evening than they were at the prejudging.
Yeah.
And I had a bigger pop in my chest, and my back looked ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
And I probably could have almost doubled what we took in that final week. Like that 80 on Monday probably could have been 120.
Yeah.
And then we probably could have been in the 300s by midweek.
Yeah.
And even... And this happens all the time, but for me, I know the difference. When you go eat a bunch of shit after the show and you look at yourself in the mirror on Sunday, you're like, I look better than I've ever looked. You look big and crazy, but it's probably not stage crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
But for me, when I woke up on Sunday morning and, my wife sees me, with no clothes on, obviously.
Yeah.
She's not a bodybuilder. She's not a prep coach, but she's lived with me for 30 years.
Yeah.
And she's seen me after many, many shows. And Sunday morning, when I woke up, she looked at me and said, oh my God, I've never seen you look better ever.
Yeah.
She said, if you would have looked like that yesterday, it would have been game over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's because I took in a bunch more clean food. Yeah. And I did have a burger and fries after the show, but I didn't go crazy. Now, I did go crazy on Sunday. but when I woke up that morning and Tyler, my son, was like, you could have took in more food.
Yeah, definitely.
So
and now we know that.
Now we know.
We know that. And that's the thing. Like when we first started doing this, we didn't know anything about your body.
We didn't know nothing.
We didn't know anything really. You knew about your body, but
we did it. I did it different.
Exactly.
So it was another learning experience.
Right.
So again, the takeaway for me is, guys, carbs don't make you fat.
No.
Carbs are not a death sentence. Yep. Insulin is a necessary hormone. It's an anabolic hormone. It's about the quantity and the quality and the timing of carbohydrate, manipulating the fat so you don't have two dominating energy components. Yeah. So if if you're doing a low carb diet and you have higher fat, that's okay if you're just trying to have a nice physique and look good. But if you want to look crazy and you want to compete, you want to keep the fat lower. You want to cycle your carbohydrates, find the right amount that refills that glycogen, gives you the performance without spilling over. It's not hard to figure that out.
No.
And it is an absolute game changer.
If people know what they're doing to an extent, you can figure it out relatively soon.
And that's what I do with my clients. We start out with a baseline of low, medium, and high days. We assess that for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it's easy to make the adjustment because you see it.
Yeah.
And then you make the adjustment. It's still not spilling over. They look tighter. They look fuller. Yep. They've lost a couple pounds. Mm-hmm. And you can keep manipulating that to a point. And then when it's time to get peeled, you slowly titrate down. You still keep finding the amount that works. Yeah. And the feedback that I'm getting, again, not to be too repetitive, is they're finding it to be far more sustainable because they really look forward to having some of those clean carbs. It makes them happy, but we found an amount that doesn't spill over. Now, you do get the people that have a psychological addiction to carbohydrate because of past abuse, and they don't have an off switch. Yeah, that's a different person.
Yeah, you have people that are like that, yeah.
So, I think I mentioned this before. I did a post in the Facebook group where I said, I had this much carbohydrate on this day, and the person online said, oh, if I ate that white rice, I would just keep eating rice all day. And I said, okay. In my plan on this meal, I was allocated 1 cup of jasmine rice.
Yeah.
Guess how much I had?
1 cup.
1 cup.
Yeah.
So discipline is a factor here, like it is with any diet. No matter what you're doing, you have to have a level of discipline or else it's going to go off the rails. So if you're on a higher fat diet and a low carb diet and you've determined how much fat keeps you from getting fat, if you exceed that because you're putting fucking butter in your coffee or some dumb shit like that, then you're going to get fat. And then lastly, whether the carnivores like it or not, fat does convert to body fat easier than carbs do.
It does. Yeah.
It's a very expensive physiological process to convert carbs to fat. Yeah. It has to go through a lot different pathways because the body wants to use that insulin to push it into the muscle, refill the muscle glycogen, refill the liver glycogen, and you find the point to where you're just under the spillover point, and it's more than you think. Yeah. And you just titrate the fat down and everything changes and you look amazing and you feel great. Yeah. So too much of anything is bad. And why do we prioritize protein? Protein does not want to convert to fat. Yeah. Its primary job is the repair of cells and tissue and growth. And if you get too much of that, then its first course of action is to convert to glucose via gluconeogenesis. It doesn't want to convert to fat. Right. So I can take in 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight with zero fear of it spilling over to body fat. Yeah. Where if I find that right amount of carbohydrates that makes me look great, feel full, vascular, amazing performance, and then I bring in just enough fat for hormonal balance, for some satiety, from some of the nutritional benefit of some good fats, everything works. Everything's perfect. And for the physique competitor, the hard training athlete, the person that's not metabolically broken, it is an amazing way to consume food if performance and aesthetics is the goal.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. Yep.
Okay, see, we all agree. So there you go.
Yeah.
Do you think we've taken these people through enough today?
I think so. I think we've been going for about an hour?
We're about an hour, yeah. So good. It's Friday, so Friday is my day.
For what?
I don't have to do shit.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, me and my wife have an agreement. Fridays when I get off, I don't have to do shit.
Yeah. So that's when you lay the law down and tell Nancy,
slow down.
Right.
Now she can't watch this because she's going to hear that and then she's going to say, "What did you tell Tyler?" No, she's actually out picking out countertops right now.
Oh, okay.
We're remodeling our kitchen. That's another podcast.
Right.
It's been going since January. Total nightmare.
Now, are you putting those countertops in?
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Shit, no.
I thought
am I installing them?
Yeah.
Shit, no.
Oh, okay.
I know.
I figured you could do all kinds of shit.
I know my pay grade.
Okay.
Now, I've done a ton of the prep work, and I can demolish shit better than anybody.
Yeah. Well,
but
that's kind of a little bit easier than trying to make it look good, I guess.
Yeah, especially for a knucklehead meathead like me.
Yeah.
But we got all the kitchen cabinets in. We got they're there. They just need to be installed. We got all the appliances delivered. So we got this giant kitchen that was literally torn down to the rafters and studs that we've completely redone. New hardwood floors, new cabinets, new appliances, new ceiling, new everything.
Yeah.
So right now this kitchen is just filled with cabinets and appliances and crap. Yeah. So we got people coming out next week to install it all. So this weekend I'm not on kitchen remodel duty, so we're going to do some stuff outside. Yeah. But she's out there getting the final slabs of quartz countertops that she wants. But so I get to go home and literally do whatever I want.
Just hang out.
So
yeah, that sounds good, man.
So I'm gonna get the hell out of here. You people are wasting my time. I need to go home and chill. But no, this was great, man. I appreciate you doing this today.
Most definitely.
And don't worry. We're on the next pod. We're going to do this regularly now that the comp's over, and we're going to answer those questions. We've got some great topics coming up. You wanted to talk about training.
Yeah, definitely. That's
I'm excited for that one.
Oh yeah, people might like what I say and they might not. So I'm pretty blunt when it comes to training. I mean, I think people will get to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We've got some really cool episodes coming up, and look forward to talking to you guys next time. But until then, stop eating shit, go train hard, and let's get it done. All right? Peace.